In this video, we're going to work on your practice final exam, problem number 6. Problem number 6 is on joint processing. Dorsey Company manufactures 3 products from a common input in a joint processing operation. Joint processing costs up to the split-off point total $350,000 per quarter. Now, GAAP requires us to allocate those costs, but they're actually completely irrelevant to this problem because no matter what we do from this point forward, we still have to incur those costs. For financial reporting purposes, the company allocates these costs to the joint products on the basis of their relative sales value at the split-off point. Unit selling prices and total output at the split-off point are as follows. Each product can be processed further after the split-off point. Additional processing requires no special facilities. The additional processing costs per quarter and unit selling prices after further processing are given below. So requirement 1, what is the financial advantage or disadvantage of further processing each of the 3 products beyond the split-off point? And then based on your analysis, which product or products should be sold at the split-off point and which should be processed further. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to make a big column A. Column B is going to be all of my revenue that comes from selling at the split-off point. And column C is going to come from my further processing. So the first one that we're going to look at is product A. So if I sell product A at the split-off point, I have 15,000 pounds from the first chart at a selling price of $16 per pound. Let's put in our commas over here so you can see the numbers a little bit better. So selling it at the split-off point would get me 15,000 multiplied by 16. Now, if I wanted to further process, it brings the price up to $20 per pound, but I have to pay $63. So the formula from the second chart for how much revenue I'd get from product A from further processing, I'd have to take first 15,000, multiply that by 20, and then subtract the further processing costs of 63,000. So basically what it's asking is the increase in revenue covering the increase in costs? Well, we can see over here that the revenue increases $4 a unit, 4 times 15,000, so the revenue is going to increase 60,000, but the costs are going to increase by 63,000, so it doesn't look like such a good deal. So over here, if I take 15,000, multiply that by 20, and then subtract 63,000, notice I get 237,000. So since I get less revenue from further processing, I would actually want to sell at the split-off point. Now let's do exactly the same thing for products B and product C. So for product B, if I sell at the split-off point from the first chart, 20,000 pounds, multiplied by $8 per pound. From the second chart, product B, if I choose further processing, it brings the price up to $13 per pound, but I have to pay an extra $80,000. So we can see here that it brings the price up by $5 a pound. 5 times 20 is 100,000. So the change in price brings the revenue up 100,000, but 80,000 extra in costs. This one looks like it's going to be a good deal. So here, 20,000 multiplied by 8 gives me 160,000 in revenue. 20,000 multiplied by 13 and then subtract 80,000 gives me 180,000. Now, to calculate the benefit or the cost we're just going to take the further processing and subtract the split-off point. So here I'm going to take 237,000, subtract 240,000. So what happens is, going from split-off to further processing hurts my revenue by 3,000. Here I'm going to take the further processing and subtract the sale at the split-off point, and we can see here that further processing benefits me by 20,000. Now let's do the same thing for product C and finish this problem. So if we sell product C at the split-off point, 4,000 gallons, multiplied by $25 per gallon from the first chart. From the second chart, product C, if we decide to do the further processing, 4,000 gallons, multiplied by our increased price of $32 per gallon, but we'd have to pay an extra 36,000. So going from 25 to 32 raises it $7 per gallon. 7 times 4 is 28,000 minus 36,000. It looks like this is going to be a bad deal. So here, 4,000 multiplied by 25 gives me 100,000. 4,000 multiplied by 32 and then subtract 36,000 gives me 92,000. So again, to calculate the benefit or the cost, I take the further processing, subtract the sale at the split-off point, and making the decision to process further will hurt my profitability or my revenue by 8,000. So product A has a $3,000 disadvantage. Product B has a $20,000 advantage. And product C, $8,000. Negative for a disadvantage, very important, disadvantage. Now, if a product has an advantage, we want to further process it, but if it has a disadvantage, we want to sell at the split-off point. So the only one that we would choose to process further is product B. So product A, do we sell it at the split-off point, is a yes. And if we sell it at the split-off point, we cannot process it further. For product B, we do not want to sell at the split-off point because instead we would raise our revenue by 20,000 if we process further. For product C, we want to sell at the split-off point because processing further hurts our revenue by $8,000. And now we have over here, problem 6 is now complete.